Ava and Carol Detective Agency. The Mystery of the Pharaoh's Diamonds. Chapter 2. Ramesses' Curse. The final bell rang, turning the school hallway into a miniature version of the running of the bulls. In full stampede, children hooted and hollered as they pushed their way out of the 6 bright red doorways leading to freedom. A semicircle of buses arced around Nobel Park Middle School like a bright orange smiley face. Carol and Ava blinked as their eyes adapted to the brilliant sun, which instantly warmed them. Carol closed her eyes and turned her face upward.
"This is the life," she sighed.
Ava looked at the buses, their diesel exhaust puffing like cigars.
"What do you say we walk home today?"
Carol sighed pleasantly.
"Please, I just want to fling my arms out and run through a wheat field or grove of wildflowers."
"What about a field of corn instead?
Could you imagine?
Thud, 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 as you plow down an entire crop of corn. You'd have serious welts all over your arm."
"Why do you do that? Do you have something against pleasant thoughts? You just destroyed a perfect moment of heavenly bliss," moaned Carol.
She paused and stretched out her arms once again, trying to regain the blissful moment.
"Nope, you ruined it. It's gone."
She let her arms drop to her sides.
"Speaking of bliss," said Ava, stopping at a crosswalk, "how did you do on the geography test?"
Carol frowned as they crossed Elm Street and continued down the sidewalk, heading toward Mall Street.
"Sadly, there was no test today. Mr. Downey decided the museum heist was more important than the globe."
"Tragic."
"I agree. He wanted to share his theory on how the robbery was committed and how the thieves got away. I'm afraid to ask, but somehow I feel compelled. He thinks that it was Ramesses himself that stole the diamonds. He believes that Ramesses couldn't go onward to the afterlife because he had unfinished business."
Carol wiggled her fingers mysteriously. "In Livingston," added Ava.
"Of course,"
snorted Carol.
"He's also the same teacher who said that we never landed on the moon, that everything was filmed on a soundstage in Hollywood."
I unfortunately stumbled onto his YouTube channel where he shot a video to debunk the moon landing. I must say, he takes his videography very seriously. For authenticity, he shot his video in his daughter's sandbox.
"Jeez,"
muttered Carol under her breath.
"I hope he doesn't have a cat. That's one lunar landing I wouldn't want to see."
"We're educationally doomed," laughed Ava. "You have to admit, the robbery is the biggest thing that's happened in Livingston."
"Do I? You're forgetting the alien baby in the Charles River."
"Oh, yeah. The one that turned out to be an octopus that got its tentacles oddly twisted in a plastic 6-pack ring thingy?"
"We made the front page of the National Enquirer with that one,"
Carol said matter-of-factly.
"Our one fleeting moment of fame, and then back into dismal obscurity."
"That was funny," said Ava. "Remember people swore they saw a saucer-shaped spaceship crash into the river just hours before the octo-alien appeared?"
"What can I say?"
Carol said.
"Peeps are gullible and clueless."
Ava nodded, agreeing with her friend. "Speaking of clueless, without looking, what am I wearing?"
"Oh, Ava, Ava, you must think you're dealing with a neophyte."
"I'm going to let that one pass because I have no idea what that is. I can only assume that it means possessing godlike qualities."
"Exactly. I promise you that it doesn't mean inexperienced or beginner."
"You're a horrible liar." "So?" Ava prompted.
"A large yellow hat with a wide brim, a yellow poncho, and galoshes. You may or may not have a mustache."
"Great. You're amazing. You just described the guy that does the fish sticks commercial."
Fine. You no longer have red highlights, you have purple. You're wearing your black hoodie that has the word ironic stenciled on it, but no one can see the word ironic because it is stenciled in black.
It's classic, interjected Ava.
Let's see, you're wearing jeans and your black Converse with the purple shoelaces to accentuate your new highlights. You have purple nail polish on every finger except your ring finger.
The girls came to a stop at the corner and waited as a black SUV with a reinforced grille, tinted windows, and multiple antennas sped past.
Not a part of the Livingston Police Department,
said Carol, eyeing the government license plate.
Mom said that they brought in the FBI on the art heist in Boston. It makes sense they would be here for this one.
The girls jogged across the intersection to the sidewalk that ran along Mall Street.
I was thinking about something my mom said.
Carol stopped and leaned against Mr. Gupter's mailbox.
All right, I see the wheels churning. The thief, or thieves,
added Carol. Ava nodded and continued.
They have two options to get rid of the diamonds. One is to sell them to the insurance company, and the second was to smuggle them out of the country. They don't necessarily have to smuggle them out of the country, especially if they sell them to a private dealer who wants them as an ego purchase. Which would you choose? Would you risk working with an insurance company? I mean, there's gonna be some kind of digital footprint, right? You're gonna leave tracks. Most likely. It depends on how computer savvy the person is. Remember, our computer club hacked into a bunch of local businesses as a part of Operation Safety Net to show how unsecure they were. Exactly. You may be a great thief, but that doesn't mean you have the computer skills to communicate with an insurance company and not leave a trace. Plus, you also have to have knowledge of overseas banking. It's not like they're going to mail you a check.
Carol snorted.
Yes, if you would please make the check out to Ima? I'm a robber. I feel so conflicted. Robbers have to be trustworthy. Think about it. If you have accomplices, cohorts. Yeah, that's a better word. You have to trust that they're not going to double-cross you or that they have the necessary skills to do all the stuff that needs to get done. Takes a lot of planning,
agreed Carol.
And how do you find these people? Is there like a website with a drop-down menu where you can select the type of criminal you need? Sort of. It's called the dark web.
Ava gave Carol a look.
I don't have all the answers, she shrugged. Just enough to make it look like I know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I'm betting the diamonds are probably halfway across the globe by now. Even with all the cameras and technology, it would be simple to hop on a train or boat with them. Plus, the thieves had months to plan. Right now, everyone's playing catch-up. I agree. I also noticed we walked by my house about 5 minutes ago, said Ava. You're right, Carol smiled, reversing directions. I believe I got confused by all the smoke coming from your ears. So clever. Maybe next time, try a joke from this century.
Ava laughed, bumping shoulders with Carol.
This robbery reminds me of the great clock heist we solved. Oh yeah, exclaimed Ava. When Connor and Talon stole all the clocks from the classrooms and sold them on that website where schools request items at a discount in bulk? Catching them was our one true moment to shine. I loved your article about it in the Cherrywood Chatter. It's time for justice to prevail. So how did that story remind you of the robbery? It didn't really. I just felt like reliving the moment. The adulation from our peers, the pats on the back, the reward money. I did enjoy the adulation. And the free tacos, said Ava as they walked up her driveway. Carol, when was the last time you visited the Hancock Museum?
Carol smiled, her blue eyes sparkling.
Why, Mrs. Clark, are you inviting me on a mission? I believe I am, Big Brain. I believe I am.
If you're enjoying Thomas Lockhaven's audiobook content, please like and subscribe. It's the best way to help out the channel.